Hello everyone, welcome back to IT Samurai Teacher. My name is Shihab Abdul. Today I'm going to show you how to create a free VPN server in cloud. Yes, in Azure. I'm going to show you how to create a VPN server, and it's a freaking fast. Believe me, I've used it and it's very fast, and I'm glad I found this option and I can use the VPN and secure my connections, my phone, my computer. It's you can see it's free service that include month free amount for 12 months, 750 hours. So but you're not going to up and running for 24/7, but you can up run 750 hours per month. So make sure you run 750 hours a month and don't run more than that. Then it will going to bill you, but this is more than enough if you want to, whenever you want to use the VPN. And if you want to learn and see how much it will cost, I think this will be perfect. So I'm going to show you. First, let's step by step. I'm going to show you. First, we need to create a virtual machine. Now I'm going to put these links on my video description so you can get it. First, you need to do is you need to create a free account on Azure and subscribe. You can get for trial version, and I believe if you go for pay by version, what we call for that, pay as you go. Yes, pay as you go. You will get the free service, but I'm not sure, but you can go for trial and see if you see the free service, or you can change to pay as you go and see how much it will cost. Now don't build so many resources, because if you don't know about Azure and if you create services, it will going to bill you. So make sure follow my direction, follow my instructions and create it. You can see I don't get any bill because I created accounts, and now I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, let's jump into the free service, and you can see Linux virtual machine, 750 hours, B1S, B280S, blah blah, whatever the same we're going to use. So we're going to hit the click create button. Just in case if you don't see this, don't worry, just go to the home and create a virtual machine and follow my direction. Virtual machines, and create a virtual machine in here and just fill the form. That's it. Okay, so but I'm going to use pre-service, so it will populate everything. Now hit the create button. Now I choose pay as you go. Whatever the subscription you have, just choose that. Now in here I already have a pay as you go resources group. If you don't have one, just create one. It's very easy. Just put whatever the name you want, maybe a meaningful one. So as you can see, I put pay as you go. That's my subscription name, and Linux, so that's going to be Linux. And oh, you know what, I'm not sure. So it says this resource group contains existing resources. Choose any empty resource you want. So I'm going to create a different one. So I'm going to say Linux VPN server. I'm going to click OK. So I created a new resources group. Okay, now I'm going to put a name for this VPN server. So I'm going to type VPN server 2024. Okay, now in here region. So the region, you can see I don't have much region. I'm going to use West US 3, but if you choose this region, you will get that IP address. That's mean I'm in US. If I connect to whatever the region I choose, that's the IP address I'm getting. even you can now, example, if you want to go to India, that you're in US, and if you want to get an Indian IP address, you can choose region India. So that's also useful for if you're doing any kind of project, television, try to find out unblocked sites in India, you can choose that. Now I'm going to choose West US 3, and image, I'm going to choose Ubuntu server 22.4. LTS x64 Gen 2 version. In here you can see free service eligible services. In here you will get only one or maybe two, depend on your region. So I choose one. 1 vCPU, 1 GB of memory. That's enough, because we're not going to use the GUI or anything. We're going to use only SSH and network traffic. That's all. So that's enough. Now next is administrator account. We're going to use SSH public key. Now you can see Azure now automatically generates an SSH key pair for you and allows you to store it for future use. It is fast, simple and secure way to connect to your virtual machine. Believe me, it's very fast. So it's good choice. SSH public key by Azure. The username, I'm not going to change it, but if you want, you can change it, right? If you want to keep this virtual machine for a long period of time, make sure you change your username, change to something else. Now in here, generate new key pair, because we're going to use it for new. And I'm going to use this one because ED259 offers a better performance and security with smaller key size, while RSA is still widely used, particularly for legacy system and applications. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use the key pair name intact. I'm not going to change, but if you want, you can change it. And public inbound ports. Now I'm going to say none, but after this I will create the inbound port rule and allow, and I'm going to SSH. For now, let's disable everything, right? Because we're not going to open for the public. That's a good practice for the security purposes. Going to next text. I mean, you can put an environment like VPN server. This is optional. You don't need to do it, but it's good to have if you in a production environment. If you have more, if you plan to create more, I think these tags are very, very useful. So I'm going to use only the virtual machine for this, and I'm going to next. And if you have any issues, this will give you a like red color sign. So now don't worry about this subscription credit, apply, blah blah blah, this size. Since this is a free, you should be okay, unless you put something else to this, it will bill. So make sure you just follow my direction. Okay, don't put anything else. I will show you everything. So now in here, do not skip this. You need to download the private key and create resources, because this private key you need for SSH access. Now you can see I just download. It's going to save in my computer. Just save that file to any folder you want. Just save it somewhere else so you can have access, because that file need in Azure to do SSH. Now you can see the deployment in progress, so it's going to install all the Ubuntu server and stuff. So may probably take few minutes, not that much, maybe within 5 minutes or 10 minutes it will create it. Once it's done, I'm going to jump in again. Okay, you can see it's done. Your deployment is complete. Let's go to the resources. Hit that resources tab. Now you can see in here it's running. The only thing is, now what you need to do here is make sure that when you go to connect, you don't do anything else. I'm going to show you. Do not go to the version because it's going to charge you. So make sure you don't want to pay anything. So avoid this and avoid the serial console because it's going to create a storage account and it's going to charge you. I mean, don't worry, it's not going to charge you a lot. It's just small amount, but at least it's few bucks, right? So just hang in there tight. Let's go for all the free stuff. Now we're going to use the SSH using Azure CLI or maybe the native. I'm going to use the native one. It's easy. But for before that, I'm going to show you something. When you click select, because remember that we didn't enable the port 22. So now it's validating and it's going to fail because we didn't allow the port 22. So no one cannot access this machine. So because I want to secure this machine too, because we need to look from the security standpoint to protect this server, VPN server. So that's why I did that. So you can see port 22 access blocked. That's good. Now the next thing is we need to allow, so we can do SSH connection. Now go to the network settings. Now we need to create inbound port. So if in the network settings, inbound rules, you can see there's only 3 rules. I'm going to create a inbound rule. In the right section on the top, click inbound rule. In here, the source, so my IP addresses. So this is my IP address. So this is the IP address. This is the IP address only can SSH to this server. Now if you have a static IP address, you just type here IP address, just type it here. Now if you don't know your home IP address, it's easy. So when you click my IP address, it will automatically detect your public IP address and put it down here. Now normally on home connections, it's always rotate the public IP because it's sharing, right? It's going to rotate. So once it's changed, you're not able to SSH. But don't worry, if you have access to Azure, just come here and you can always change back, because you just click to my IP addresses and after that just click back again my IP, then it will automatically detect the new IP address and just click save. Now we're going to create this one. The source range, I'm going to keep that for that any. Destination, I'm going to keep that any. Custom, I'm going to use SSH. So we're going to allow the SSH. We're going to say allow, priority 100. We can change name if you want, or put a description, hit the edit button. So you can see the inbound rule created for 22 TCP. That's good. And I'm going to go overview. I'm going to do some refresh here. And what you need to do here now, go to connect. Now click the select button. I'm not going to use Azure. I mean, if you want, you can use Azure, but I like to use the native one. So now let's see the validating process and see if it's going to pass, because we created a port rule. You can see it's checkbox green. Everything looks good. Good, baby. Now everything looks good. Now we want SSH because we want to configure our VPN server. Next, you hit the select button. Now this is the place you need to find the name. Actually, let me go ahead from the back end and see what's the name on it. Yes, I'm going to, let me go there and okay. So in here downloads, I put a name like this. Now it's generate in here. You can see in generate. So this is the just copy this, because you need to find, this is the location I download that file. You know, when I create it, I download, right? So this is the file, it's downloaded. I put the path. This automatically Azure give me a script, right? So now I need to copy this and keep it in a safe place. Maybe put a notepad and everything, because I'm going to open my native SSH, as mean terminal, and put and copy this link and put it there and just hit one and it will going to connect SSH. Now I'm going to show you that. Okay, now I'm going to switch back to my terminal. So I just open from my machine, my computer, home computer machine, open the terminal CMD, and I'm going to paste that link script. You can see asking to now you can see it. You don't need to enter username or password, just went to the straight to the SSH. Now I'm going to first I'm going to do is sudo apt update. Always update your VM, good practice. So it's updating, it's getting the updates. So one more thing I need to run after that should be good. Yep, it's coming up. Now I'm going to type sudo apt upgrade. Sudo apt upgrade. Good. So seems like service update. Now next, start installing the WireGuard. Okay, now let's go ahead install the WireGuard on the Linux box, Ubuntu. First of all, you need to type sudo apt install WireGuard-y. So it's in the database. It's going to install. Okay, done. So now we install the WireGuard. The next option is we need to generate keys. So normally we need to generate private key and a public key on the server itself. So what you need to do is you type wg generate key, gen key as t, and we're going to say private key, and wg pub key, public key, and I'm going to type public key. I'm going to this, oops, something pop up on my machine, so I'm going to just ignore that. Now let me go ahead, wg gen key t private key, wg pub key, and public key. So this should generate the keys. Now how are you going to confirm we create private key and the public key? Normally what you're going to do is you get type cat private key. So when you type cat private key, you will see your private key. Now make sure you copy and save it. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to save it. I'm going to type private key. In the back end, I believe that you can't see my screen, so I'm just saving that key because we need that key. I'm going to type I will show you in a bit server keys. So now I save this as a server keys in notepad, separate private key. Now next I'm going to show see my public key, see cat pub key. So once you cat public key, you will see your public key. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to save in my public key notepad. Okay, I just save in the notepad. Now now you generate private key and public key. This is very important for our next process, so make sure you copy and paste it to a notepad. Now next we need to configure our configuration. We're going to type sudo nano etc WireGuard wg 0.conf. Now in here what we need to do here is we also need client that's mean peer public key, right? So since I still didn't install the public key like WireGuard software to the Windows 11 box, I'm going to type only the peer, sorry, the interface there. I'm going to enter only the server information interface. Okay, so in the interface, this is what can we do comment? No. Yeah, so I'm going to do server key. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type private key. So this will be our private key which we save. So let me go ahead and copy that private key which I copied to a separate notepad. Okay, in here I'm going to save paste that private key. So this is the private key we save, right? As I told you to save in a notepad, so it's easy to copy and paste here. Now address, so the address we're going to assign, I'm going to use 10 dot, I'm going to do 2.2.1/24. so this will our VPN IP address. We're going to assign for our server, VPN server, and we're going to do the listen port. Going to type 51820. so this is our listen port. Now in the peer section I'm going to just type peer, peer. So this is our client, let's say Windows, client. This is our Windows 11 box. Okay, 11 box. So the peer we need to tap get the public key, so and allowed IPs. So this is our allowed IPs. I'm going to say 10.2.2/32. so this is the IP we're going to assign to the Windows 11 box, because if you have like maybe Windows 10 or more computers, just type more peers and give them a proper IP address, like 3 or 4 or 5 6 like that. Even in the phone, if you want to install the WireGuard on the phone, get the IP address and assign here. So when WireGuard connect to the iPhone, it will automatically get the IP address from here. Now I'm going to keep this one is blank because I didn't install the Windows 11 box on WireGuard. Now I will keep it blank and I will be back. So I'm going to type press Control and O to save. You can see under here it's going to save, and I'm going to hit enter. Now it's saved. Now I'm going to Control X, exit. Now let's go jump into our Windows 11 box and install WireGuard. Okay, now we are in our Windows 11 box. You can see I'm going to open Internet Explorer. Make sure that I am connected to the internet. Okay, now I'm going to type WireGuard client download. So we need to go and download Windows client, so WireGuard client. Now you can see if you have a different OS, you can download from the iOS for phone, Android, Ubuntu, Mac OS, and Windows. Now for this demonstration I have Windows 11 box. I'm also going to use iPhone later. For now, let's go install the Windows 11 box. You can see here, and I'm going to open this and run. Now you can see it's WireGuard installing. Very easy, very quick. You can see it just pop up. Now we need to create a tunnel. So for that we need the public IP address. Now you go add empty tunnel on the left side all the way to the bottom. You can see added tunnel, click added empty tunnel. Now you can see the public key in here, so make sure you copy this and put a VPN VPN 01, okay, and copy this to a notepad. I'm going to copy here in a different notepad. I'm going to say client public key. So we need only public key, so we're going to keep the private key without touching anything. I'm going to save it. Okay, now let's jump into the server SSH session, because we need to paste that public key. Okay, now we're in the SSH, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sudo nano. Okay, now in here I'm going to bring the public key section. In here we're going to paste that. Now the Windows 11 box public key is pasted here. Now everything looks good, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Control O, I'm going to save that, and Control X to exit. Now next what you need to do here is, now we done with the configuration part, I'm going to do start and enable our WireGuard session. So you just type sudo wg quick up wg 0. So you can see everything looks good, just up. And next I'm going to type sudo systemctl enable and starting wg quick at wg 0. Okay, so we created a system starting point and enable this one. Okay, now next let's go ahead and enable the IP forwarding. So what you need to do here is sudo nano etc sysctl.conf. Did I miss something? Sudo nano etc, oh yes, I know what I did, sysctl.conf. Now I'm going to, oops, in the wrong screen. Oh, okay, in here. So we're going to type, I'm going to give you example, I mean describe IP version 4, net IP version 4.ip, and I'm going to t forward 1. So I'm going to type net dot IP version 4.ip and forward 1. So this is enable IP forwarding. This allows the server to network traffic between its network interfaces, which is essential for VPN server to route traffic between the client and the other devices on the network or the internet. So without IP forwarding, the VPN server would not pass traffic from the VPN client to other network. So the VPN server essentially acts as a router, and enabling IP forwarding is crucial for its functionality. So now we need to make sure to ensure this following line present and uncommented. Okay, I'm going to say Control O, type Control X. Now next one I'm going to do apply changes. We're going to type sudo sysctl-p. Now we apply the changes. Okay, next what we need to do here is we need to configure NAC, network address translation, add a NAT route to your firewall. So I'm going to type sudo IP tables t NAT a. I'm going to type your stro routing, type 0 ETH 0 J MS QUERADE. So sudo IP tables T NAT A pushing or ETH0-J. So this command will enable network address translation NAT on your machine, allowing devices connect to your WireGuard VPN WG0 interface to access the internet through ETH0 interface. So that's what it does. So next is to ensure the rule persists across reboots. You should save it using IP table persistent. So next we need to type sudo apt-get apt-get install IP tables persistent. I'm going to say yes. It's going to install one. Current IP rules can be saved to the configuration file IP tables rules version 4. These rules will then be loaded automatically during the system startup. Rules are only saved automatically during the package installation. See manual page of IP tables. 8 for the instruction or keep the rules file. Save current IP version tables. I'm going to say yes. IP version 6, yes. So we're going to save IP version 4 and IP version 6. Now save the current rules. I'm going to type sudo net filter persistent save. Okay, so we save the current rules. Now we're going to reload the rules. Sudo net filter persistent reload. Okay, we just reload everything. Now let's jump into Windows 11 box and configure the interface. Okay, now we are in the Windows 11 client machine. I'm going to right click this, edit selected tunnel. Okay, so we can see the interface private key. That's the Windows 11 private key. We don't give to anyone, or we don't put any server or anywhere else. We'll keep only in the Windows 11 box in the client. Address, if you remember, we add ress. So address, if you remember, we gave 10.2.2.2 if I'm correct. Even I can't remember. So I'm going to 24. So I'm going to give this 24. So this is the IP address I'm going to get, and after that I'm going to type DNS. I'm going to give Google's 8.8.8. so I'm going to DNS. I'm going to give the Google DNS. Right now we're going to peer mean it's our server. So now we need to get the public key, PUBLIC public key. So I told you to save the public and private key on the server, so I'm going to grab the public key. I'm going to the servers and I save the public key and I'm copying that. I'm going to put it over here. So so let me double check if I correct the right key. Yes, that's the correct key. So this is the server public key. So I copy and paste the public key. So looks good here, and I'm going to type end point. We'll come back this to later. Okay, endpoint is the VPN server IP address I need to grab from the Azure. So I'm going to type enter. I'm going to keep that blank. I'm going to type allowed IPs. So allowed IPs, what I'm going to do 0.0.0.0.0/0. Next I'm going to type persistent keep alive. So it will not going to drop. Sometimes people don't put this, but I like to keep this, so always check and see it's not going to drop my VPN connection. So this is all, but I need one more thing, endpoint. That means server IP address. So just for now I'm going to key must have value endpoint. Oh my goodness. So let's jump into the Azure quickly and find out the IP address. Okay, I'm in the Azure. I'm going to the overview. I need to find the IP address. Okay, this is the public IP address. You can see in here. I'm going to copy this. We need something. Let me see if that's the correct one. Yes. So you can get from the network settings, or you can go to the overview and find the IP address. You can see the IP address. Now let's go jump into the our Windows 11 box, and I'm going to put it over here and I'm going to put the port number 51820. I'm going to save it. Okay, good. So I just save it. Now I'm going to connect. That's all we need to do, but there's a need to do some troubleshooting because probably we need to open a port from the Azure side. But before that, let's do a quick connection. So I'm going to do activate. Okay, now see, everything looks good, but we are not going to connect to the internet. So WireGuard is activated, but you can see in here it's not connected to the internet. You can see 0B received. Now I'm going to deactivate. Okay, now let's go jump into the Azure. We need to open a port. Okay, now we're in the Azure. Let's go to the network settings, and we need to create a rule. Okay, in the inbound. So under network settings, you can see in the right side inbound and outbound port rule. So let's create a inbound port rule. Okay, so I'm going to say source any, source port ranges any, so like that, keep it default. Destination is any, and the custom service, I'm going to use, you know what, I'm going to use the service also any. Okay, service also any, and no, actually service in the custom, just keep the default. Sorry about that. Service custom, because we're going to have a custom port number. So destination portion port is 51820. So this is the port number we gave. I believe this port number is getting blocked, so that's why we don't see any network traffic. And we're going to use protocol is UDP. Okay, and we allow, and make sure this priority number is not here anything. So if it's not here, everything looks good. So allow any custom file to inbound port. So seems like good. 51820 is the most important thing, port number, and I'm going to hit edit. Now what I'm going to do is to make sure everything looks perfect, everything looks good, I'm going to reboot the VPN server so I don't get any issues. So go to the overview and hit restart. Do you want to restart the VPN server? Click yes. So while it's good practice to restart the VPN server once you configure the first time, you configure everything, otherwise you will get an issue. So one, just reboot and see if everything fixes, then we're going to jump into the client machine and we're going to try to connect again. Okay, seems like it's already rebooted. Now let's jump into our Windows 11 box. Okay, now we are in the Windows 11 box. I'm going to click the activate button. Okay, you can see the transfer rate is now, we can see it's connected. Now we don't have any issues. We can see we can go to the internet. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to say what's my IP address. Going to see it's my IP address. You can see Microsoft, ISP, city, region, United States. So I'm getting a East Coast IP address now. So it looks cool, perfect, it's working. And I'm going to do a speed test too and see how the speed test is. Click go. You can see I'm totally in different Micro Azure and the IP address. I'm getting this, and look at the speed. My goodness, speed is awesome. You can see I'm getting a good speed. See, so we get the download speed 124, 80 Mbps, and even if I go to YouTube, I can watch a good YouTube videos without any issues. Okay, let's do some trending videos. Okay, this one. Okay, seems like everything looks good. Okay, so see, I don't have any issues. So yeah, perfectly playing all the videos. The speed test 7555 uploads. So amazing. I mean, I don't have any complaint once I create this my VPN server. Don't have any like a slowness or anything, and I can freely access any sites with confidence because I connect to VPN through Azure. Now if we jump back to our Azure, okay, so now because we using 750 hours of free resources, right? But just to make sure that you will get paid for network traffic, because bandwidth they're not giving you free. So don't worry, it's very small amount. Okay, it depends on what you're going to do. So normally if you really want to use the Azure VPN network, I'm going to create another video, create a split tunnel. That's mean that you create a split tunnel only the websites you want to protect, like banking sites, example banking sites. So you want to do banking. So if you go to a shop or anywhere that you want to do banking stuff, you're fear that you will get hacked or anything, so you can use that split tunnel to use the banking stuff or Facebook or Twitter or anything, right? So other like YouTube or songs, all other junk stuff, or not junk, mean whatever the other stuff, a lot of bandwidth stuff, you can use the straight your Wi-Fi, so you don't get billed. So only you can do a split tunnel to divided your resources, so you get small amount. I mean, if you get a VPN, if you're paying for VPN, that's huge, right, for monthly. So I believe this is going to be very small cost, and you're running VPNs of 750 hours, so it's it's good. I mean, once you done with your 750 hours for a month, then you just keep an eye how much you're going to pay, right? So make sure you once you're done with everything, just hit the stop button. Do you want to reserve the public IP address? Of course, because I want to reserve. But the thing is, so you can relocation operation successfully complete within 1 to 2 minutes, but may take up to 90 minutes. So some cases you can leave the page, track and progress your notification. So I'm not sure that the public, if you want to keep the public, it will build small amount. I don't know, probably you can do your own research. Okay, I'm going to say no, just say okay. But just in case, if the IP address change, it's okay. I mean, you just go ahead and see what's the IP address here and go back to your client machine and just edit and just change it here. That's all you need to do. I know it's a lot of few stuff you need to do, but at least you don't need to pay and you don't need to be worried, because you know what you need to do, because you are a guru, IT guru. So that's okay, but only if you if you want it, but you always can check the how much it's spending in the internet, so you can use for better purposes. And also I'm going to create another video for split tunnel, and also split tunnel I'm going to use as a mobile, like Apple phone, connect to WireGuard and use as a VPN connection. So that's going to be total separate video, split tunnel. And please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and it will help me to grow my channel. And we will see you on my next video. Thank you. See you soon.